welcome to Legalese. My name is Vincent Perryman and I'm a local attorney with the law offices of J. Vincent Perryman. Today's show covers personal injury law. With us now is Jennifer Mitchell, a local attorney. Jennifer, thanks for being with us today. You know, everybody always hears personal injury law. They think of the TV attorneys, and I think everybody thinks it's always just car wrecks, but I think it's broader than that. So if you could just give us an overview of what all it covers.
Of course, yeah. And personal injury attorneys kind of fight that bad reputation, but in the event that you are seriously injured in an accident, you definitely want to consult at least a personal injury attorney on what your rights are and what you are entitled to under the law. Personal injury not only covers car accidents and other vehicle accidents, it also covers things like premises liability, which is if you have a slip and fall in a Kroger or the Home Depot and injure yourself that way. Or also it can cover things such as workers' compensation law, which is on-the-job injuries and things like that. So it does cover a broad range. We also, generally, personal injury attorneys handle Social Security, disability benefits, and things like that as well.
Well, and then I guess the first concern with that is how do you know, okay, you've been injured, and then you look at it on, well, you generally get a call from either their insurance, your insurance, somebody's insurance, and all. How do you know when you need to go get an attorney? Absolutely.
Actually, these days, it seems in the city, the first call you get is from a chiropractor's office. Unfortunately, that's the case a lot of times because they are seeking out the police reports and scanners and things like that, and they find the people that are injured that way. But if you are seriously injured in a car accident, say you're taken to the emergency room and you know, subsequently released, then you get a call from, generally speaking, the other party's insurance company adjuster. And at that point, you want to make a decision. If you feel that you are injured and you need some assistance, you want to make a decision to contact an attorney before you talk to that insurance adjuster. A lot of times they will ask you to make a recorded statement almost immediately after the accident. And if you are foreseeing maybe lost wages and other damages, medical expenses are piling up, you do not want to do a recorded statement with an insurance adjuster before contacting an attorney. Because generally people make the mistake of not understanding all that they're entitled to when they're in a car accident, such as lost wages, and if they have a spouse, if the spouse has to take them to and from a doctor's appointment, the spouse is also entitled to their lost time and wages in addition to lost consortium claims. So.
And then I guess you've also got the property damages tied into that if you've got that.
Absolutely. A lot of times personal injury attorneys don't generally handle property damage claims because they are so cut and dry under the law. And basically you're entitled to the fair market value of the car at the time that it was damaged. And unfortunately the law doesn't give you a whole lot of leeway with that. In those circumstances, you always recommend that they have gap coverage in case that they have a loan out for their car, which is in excess of what it's actually worth. Sometimes you could be stuck with the balance of the loan if you do not have gap insurance at that time.
So, and gap insurance is basically where you've got the car's worth $5,000, but you've got $10,000 that you owe on it, and you're given $5,000 fair market value for the car, and that gap insurance would come in and pay that extra $5,000 off.
Absolutely, but that is something that you would have to obtain under your own insurance policy, and people just don't understand that. A lot of times they'll come to a personal injury attorney and say, well, they're not even paying off my loan. They're saying the car is totaled and they're not even paying off my loan, and it's a hard thing to find out at the wrong time. But you really need to understand what your insurance policy provides for.
So, and I guess this is the whole thing with this is, you know, if you are injured, there's a certain amount of, you know, unknown for you if you've never gone through anything like that. and trying to, you've got enough decisions to make with your medical care and things like that. And then with different calls coming in and whatnot from these third parties, whether it be insurance agents or somebody trying to get you to treat with them, how much time do you have to sort of decide on, is it, because I think a lot of people feel like they're pressured and that it's almost an immediate decision that's got to be made. And I know I've seen that in some recorded statements where it seems like the insurance company is pushing for an answer.
Absolutely. It's in their benefit to settle a claim for personal injury just as quick as they can, because a lot of times people do not understand not only just the extent of their own injuries from the accident, they don't understand what they're entitled to, the lost wages, and the full coverage of the medical bills. A lot of times people have their own health insurance that is already paid on the medical expenses that they've incurred, and so they feel like, well, those are already paid medical expenses, I'm taken care of. But in essence, their own health insurance company is going to want to subrogate whatever monies they have paid out toward medical expenses related to that injury. They're going to want to try to reclaim that money from whoever is at fault for those injuries. And people don't understand that. They're entitled to the full value of their damages. It shouldn't be that their insurance company has to cover damages for someone else's negligence. And
okay, and also to clarify for folks, if somebody's out there going, well, what's subrogation? That's basically where your insurance company steps into your shoes and goes after the person that caused the accident to recoup what they have paid out to their insured. Right.
And that's another good point. When you're talking with a personal injury attorney, you want to make sure that you have an open communication and dialogue about what your expectations are. When the insurance company makes an offer, say they offer $10,000, that is a total offer, and people don't understand, whether they have a personal injury attorney or not, that $10,000, before they ever see any settlement money in their pocket, if their insurance did pay on the medical bills or expenses, or even if they had a disability policy which paid some lost wages, those insurance companies are going to seek out repayment of that, out of that $10,000 before the injured party gets any money at all. And so a lot of times, if they're trying to handle the claim on their own, they'll get a check for maybe $1,000, $2,000, and not understand that that settlement value of $10,000 was taken, away by their insurance company, basically.
Okay. When we return, we'll continue our discussion about personal injury law. Please stay with us.